Hello there. We have taped probably dozens of DVDs, and we have covered in these DVDs slides and subtleties. But still, we received a lot of requests to produce DVDs with just subtleties and slides without tricks. Like, let's say, a collection of these slides and subtleties. We cannot pretend to cover all of them, there are hundreds and hundreds, but we try to show you the most versatile and the most useful and also the most commonly used. And I try my best to cover the history of each slide, some applications, some tips, and so on, and hopefully this will be useful for you to create your own routines. Keep on watching. This is the famous Hunter Fall Shuffle. There are many variations. This is the one I use most commonly because I like it and I feel comfortable. If I'm not wrong, this variation belongs to Joseph Smith, which was a great illustrator, by the way. Imagine you want to retain the entire order of the deck. Imagine also, for the benefit of explanation, you have the two black aces, one on top and one on the bottom, and here we go. You just shuffle like this, and the two aces, and by the way, the entire deck is exactly in the same order. Very easy to do. You take half of the cards in your left hand, pulling down actually in this case with the left thumb, and shuffle a few cards. I always do 5 and 4, and I get it so used now that I don't even I don't even need to look at my hands, and even when I talk to the people, I do always 5 and 4. You can do 5, 3, 4 and 3, it doesn't matter, but remember how many. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, singly, drop the deck on top, hitting the bottom long side in the middle. Don't like this, otherwise it's going to be square. Automatically you'll see that some cards are side jogged. It's automatic. Okay? Push these cards up with the forefinger and grab the bottom half, and then shuffle again the same number of cards. 5, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and drop these on top. So basically the entire deck retains the same order. It's better if you do a couple of times, and for this reason I shuffle 5 cards the first time and 4 the second time. 1, 2, 3, 4, throw these on top, you see, like this, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the entire deck remains in the same order. It's a beautiful, beautiful fall shuffle. Larry West created this count for one of his packet tricks. He was very famous for his love to Emsley count, and all the counts in particular. I always loved this count, and unfortunately I've never seen any other magician performing this count. It's very versatile. For example, you have 4 cards and you want to show them as like 4 red cards, and you 2 and 2, 4 cards, but really you have 2 black cards. It's a beautiful, beautiful count. It's not that difficult to do. It's a combination of the Emsley count and the all-round subtleties, okay? Let's say you have 2 red and 2 black, you want to show them like 4 red. Take the bottom card like this. Keep always in mind that the thumb is here on the edge, okay? Already, if you have studied the Emsley count, you know the importance of keeping the thumb on the edge of the cards. Take the bottom card like this and show the 2 red by turning the hands palm down like this. And apparently you take these cards up shown in the left hand and place them both, the right hand card and the left hand card, on the table. But really you do the first switch of the Emsley count like this. Leave this card underneath and push the top 2 and drop them on the table, and then you do exactly the same thing showing the red cards. Isn't this beautiful? Of course, immediately you can even do the opposite. You show, okay, the 4 red cards becomes 4 black cards. Of course you can do this showing the backs and so on. Sometimes you may have instead of having the two red cards on the face, you may have one red card on top and one on the bottom. It's exactly the same. Instead of taking the first card from the bottom, you take the first card on top, leave these underneath, take the top two cards, place them on the table. I love this card. For the last time, like this, and two red and two more red. This very nice four shuffle that works better with a packet of cards rather than a whole deck, even though you can apply it to a whole deck, was created by Chalier, a French magician, in 1889, actually. By the way, the first time it appeared was in 1899, probably he created a little bit earlier, in Professor Huffman Magic Tricks with Cards. And basically it retained the rotational order of the packet. Imagine you have a packet here that is from ace to king in order, okay? It's the effect of the Chalier shuffle, it's like you're giving the deck a cut, a simple cut. But actually it looks like you are shuffling the deck, the packet in this case, completely at random. By the way, I like it very much because the clumsier the better. You don't need to know how many times you do it, you don't need to know how many cards you take it each time, and you can do, of course, face up and face down, whatever. You take a few cards from the top, 2 or 3, in this case it would be okay, because you don't have many cards, you have only 13, and then you push some cards from the bottom with forefinger and middle finger, 2 or 3, it doesn't matter, and you take them on top. Then push a few cards from the top and take them on the bottom, on the right-hand cards, and then bottom to the top, top to the bottom, bottom to the top. You see that the cards are not, of course, in the same order. Ace to king sometimes happens, but the rotational order is exactly the same. Ace 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, very nice. And I repeat, the clumsier the better, and it's exactly the same thing that you have given the packet, just a simple cut. This is one of the most common forces used in card magic, and is usually credited to Ed or Edmund Balducci, who wrote this in New Guards Magic Monthly in 1956. For example, you want to force, let's imagine, the 2 of clubs, okay? You ask a spectator to cut a small packet of cards, 10, 15 cards, it doesn't matter, and flip them over. And then you ask the spectator to cut again deeper among the face-down cards and flip the entire packet over. You spread the face-up cards and you ask him to take the first face-down card, apparently reached totally at random, but it's the 2 of clubs. So the card is on top and it's automatic. Just do it. A small packet of cards, flip it over, cut deeper and flip it over, and the first face-down card is the required card to be forced. Nick Frost had a nice variation. He does the first flip, so that he teaches basically what the spectator has to do. For example, you want to force the 9 of diamonds, and you cut, or he cut, the first packet like this, and then he offers the deck to the spectator to do the second cut. It's entirely up to you, no matter what. It's a very surefire force, very easy to do. This comes with a very strange story. Basically, 3 magicians reclaim the paternity of this Count Daryl from USA, and Walt Merison and Ted Biet. Walt Merison is English magician and Ted Biet is from Holland. Actually, apparently Walt Merison wrote this in 1979 in a trick, and Daryl and Ted Biet came up with other tricks using this count in 1982. So I don't know, you will be the judge. No matter who, the count is a very good one. You, for example, show 1 and 2 and 3, and the fourth card is a king, and of the remaining 3 cards is another king like this, and then you have 2 more kings, and immediately you show that basically you have the 4 aces, no kings. Very nice, very versatile count, diminishing of course because you eliminate 1 card each time you do it. So imagine you have 2 kings like this, or 2 red cards, or whatever you want to do. You can have, for example, 3 black cards and 2 red here, and you show all red. In this case I show 4 kings, okay? Take the middle grip, this is called the middle grip, from above like this. Take the first card in your left hand, the second and the third. You are left with 2 cards together. Flip these 2 cards over as one and show the king. Don't name it because you show these 2 kings twice. Don't say king of clubs because you have to name again the king of clubs. Flip these 2 cards over and deal the first card on the table, which is of course an ace. Repeat the same thing, but now you have only 4 cards that you show it as 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Again. And then you take the top card in your left hand and show the 2 cards like this. Of course, these are 2 as 1, showing again 2 kings. Place these on top, and in this case, if you want, you can do an immediate Emsley count, and you show the four aces. Very, very good count. I use this in an enormous amount of tricks, and the late Nick Trost used this count very often, and I repeat, it's a very versatile one. The count was published the first time in a trick called Mystic 9 and in a book called The Card Magic of Brother Joe Hammond, 1959. Yes, I was 8 years old, very young. I started to do the Joe Hammond count probably 10 years later. Basically, imagine you have 9 cards and you want to show them in alternating color, red and black and red and black and red and black. So red and black and red and black